From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, this is Hannah Mordeau, and this is your News 8 Daily for Wednesday, June 5th. It is muggy outside. It feels like the tropics or something. 70 degrees already this morning. Expected to get to the low 80s today. Scattered showers and storms are possible. Turning now to ITMate and a fight inside a martial arts gym. It was all caught on surveillance video. What caused the fight, though, is still under debate. One person says they were taking down a suspected thief. The other says they were just doing their job. ITMate's Cody Fisher spoke with both of them.
The teen tells me that when the situation escalated, he used his attacker's momentum against him. This is what Gavin Archer was doing alone at the martial arts gym when he says he saw someone rummaging around in his car outside. Security camera video shows him walk up to the door. He says he confronted the person about what they were doing.
I was kind of getting a little nervous, and he just straight up attacked me. It all happened so fast that you don't really have time to think.
The person in the video who gets taken down, punched, and choked out says it was all a misunderstanding. Andrew Wilkerson spoke with me via Zoom today. He says he works at the car shop next to the gym. He admits to trying to use keys to get into the car in front of the shop because it fit the description of the car next on the list to be worked on.
I try that for a couple minutes, and you can see in the video where I begin to walk away back towards my shop.
That's when Archer came to the door to confront him.
He's saying things like, "Don't go anywhere. I'm calling the cops." I've worked there for a few months. I know what that gym does. I know this guy's a trained fighter. So when he says don't go anywhere, like the last thing I want to do now is turn around and not be able to see this guy. Finally, I took a stand, raised my voice a little bit, and took a step hey, listen to me. He took a step back and pushed the gym door open the rest of the way, which in the situation looked like he was coming towards me next. So I just reacted and went after him.
Wilkerson says Archer is the one who escalated the situation. Archer claims that goes against his martial arts training.
De-escalating the situation is number one. Best martial art is running away, but if you can't, you just need to have something else.
The car shop next to the gym tells me that as of Tuesday, Wilkerson no longer works there. Reporting in Indianapolis, Cody Fisher, ITMate, Wish TV, wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook for updates.
IMPD tells ITMate that they created a police report, but no arrests have been made. Indiana's Attorney General claims this week's vote on a new soccer stadium for Indianapolis may have violated the intent of the state law that makes the project possible. Todd Rokita says in a memo to state lawmakers that once the city approved the original tax district boundaries for a stadium for the 11 Park project, it should have immediately gone to the state budget committee for final approval. Instead, the Hogshead administration wants the district to serve the new plans. A Republican lawmaker from Fort Wayne requested Rokita's opinion.
As a state legislator, and I don't speak for, my caucus or any of my other colleagues, when I saw what they're doing with the language from SB 7, to me, it did not coincide with what I thought the spirit of that bill was, not the spirit, but what the technical bearings of that bill. And that's why I asked the Attorney General to have that memorandum.
This week's council vote reset the boundaries to have the new site at the heliport downtown instead of the site of the former Diamond Chain factory where the Indy 11 owner wants it built. Hogshead has ruled out any further public funding for the 11 project. A Center Township deputy constable here in Indianapolis is scheduled to be back in court next month on charges of rape, domestic battery, and strangulation. Samoris Powell has been suspended from his position since March when he was first arrested for domestic abuse. Investigators say the mother of his child accused him of assaulting her several times over the course of 8 months and that he threatened to kill her. A spokesperson for the Center Township Constable's office says this will likely lead to Powell's termination from the office. He is the third person affiliated with the constable's office to face criminal charges this year. The constable's office says Powell is currently on administrative leave. Online records show he is scheduled to be back in court July 30th. His trial is set for August. IMPD says one of the department's top commanders is a victim of misinformation online. Her picture went viral on social media with captions claiming she was tied to the criminal trial of former President Donald Trump. The picture has gotten thousands of shares on various forums. An example, a post on X falsely claims that Southwest District Commander Nicole Pilkington is the probation officer for Trump. IMPD says she is not involved with the case at all. A former FBI agent who now runs a security company says the bogus claims could potentially put the commander's life in danger. Many in racing are mourning today over the death of one of the greatest to ever grab the wheel. Rufus Parnelli Jones, known to all as Parnelli, won in every kind of car and on every type of track. His most famous feats happened here at the Indianapolis 500 and time trials for the race. Jones was, in 1962, the first driver to top 150 miles an hour in qualifying. Speeds were up that year in large part because pavement covered much more of the original brick surface. Jones used the smooth track better than anyone else. Brake issues kept him from winning that year, but he came back the next year and won it, cementing a legacy forged in midgets, sprints, stock cars, and more. He retired in 1965 while he was still at the peak of his powers. Parnelli then won 2 more 500s as a team owner in the 1970s with Al Unser at the wheel. Parnelli Jones dies after a long battle with Parkinson's disease at 90 years old. This morning, we're seeing the completed competition pool inside Lucas Oil Stadium for the first time. It's for the U.S. Olympic team swim trials in 10 days. News 8's Hernan Gutierrez is there.
Good morning, and right now I'm going to actually just quickly take a step out so you guys can see the whole thing. It is 10 lanes, 50 meters long. It is a competition-sized swimming pool for these swim trials. The Indiana Sports Corps tells us that there are about 1,000 athletes that will be competing between June 15th and the 23rd here in Lucas Oil Stadium. This is the first time that the swim trials have been held inside an NFL stadium. We are still waiting to hear more. USA Swimming says that about 250,000 fans are expected to come over the 9 days that the swim trials are taking place here in Indianapolis. Well, they're getting ready, so let's take a listen here.
Welcome to Indianapolis, the sports capital of the world. Today we are making history as we unveil the pool in the first ever NFL stadium to host the U.S. Olympic swimming trials. I think I speak for everyone in Indianapolis when I say that we are thrilled to be having such a renowned event here in Lucas Oil Stadium.
Colts Watch. This is day 2 of the 3-day minicamp. Shane Steichen is heading into his second year at the helm. He talked to our team about a tweak to the camp schedule.
Great. Minicamp, adding that extra walkthrough in the mornings and getting the practice in the afternoon is huge. But going into year 2 for myself, I'm just excited, grateful to be a part of this organization. Tremendous support by everybody. Again, the players, they make it happen week in and week out and day in and day out. But I'm grateful and thankful for year 2.
Steichen tells us he's eager to see Anthony Richardson after the quarterback missed much of last season with a shoulder injury. We are less than 2 months from the first preseason game, August 11th at home against the Broncos. President Joe Biden is facing criticism from both sides of the political aisle over his new executive action on immigration. The new policy calls for an automatic halt of the processing of asylum cases at the southern border when arrests for illegal entry into the U.S. reach a certain level. The president says it will let the U.S. regain control of the border. Advocates for migrants say the policy will put them in danger, violating international obligations to people whose lives are threatened. Other critics say it's political theater.
This action will help us gain control of our border, restore order into the process.
He's not serious about securing the border. This is a conversion based on the proximity of the next election and sinking poll numbers, and we think it deserves to be called out for what it is.
That's Senator John Cornyn. The White House says unaccompanied children are exempt from the policy. In your business headlines, Jane King reports job openings in April slipped to 8 million, down by nearly 300,000 from March and the lowest since February of 2021. While job openings slid, hires moved slightly higher, as did separations and quits. The slowing job openings, along with a weak gross domestic product, could be an early sign that the economy is slowing. Jane also reports that a so-called rap sheet for U.S. companies is in the works that will allow consumers and government prosecutors to more easily identify non-bank businesses that repeatedly break laws. The Corrupt Offender Registry, that's what it's called, is set to be unveiled next year by the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. It will likely include 1,500 to 7,000 companies and any sanctions or consent orders they may have accrued. While banks are excluded, debt collectors, credit bureaus, and mortgage and payday lenders won't be. Are you ready for it? We're less than 150 days away from a huge series of shows, Taylor Swift concerts at Lucas Oil Stadium. City leaders are hoping for a big economic boost, banking on 200,000 people, with more than 80% coming from out of town. We talked to a Swiftie who's planning a trip from North Carolina.
Our plan is to hopefully drop our stuff off at the hotel and then go explore and find, themed cocktail flights or, restaurants doing themed food or tailgate.
One economist News 8 spoke with estimates the 3 shows by Swift could bring up to $100 million to the city's economy. Concerts are November 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. This has been your News 8 Daily. From Wish TV, I'm Hannah Mordeau. Watch us on wishtv.com and follow us on Facebook for updates.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go, connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening, and be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.